doing this. Welcome to my first YouTube video. This is going to be my tech channel. And I think we're going to start off with a big bang. We are going to upgrade my current PC to a new PC. Now here's the game plan, okay? We're not going to go all new everything. We're going to keep the CPU, which is a i9 13900K. We're going to got a 3090, and we're keeping the PSU, which is about a 1200 volt, right? 1300 volt, correction. We're going to upgrade to DDR5. Got Corsair Dominator right here. We're going to upgrade the Lee streamers, Samsung 990 Pro. And we're going to modify this Lee 011 Dynamic Evo because we need an inverted case. So let's get started. First things first, let's actually do the case first. Alright, so let's unbox this case real quick and start assembling it or disassembling it to a inverted case. And there we go. Bam, just like that. Right here we have the Lee 011 Dynamic, sorry, and Evo, and there's Snow White. Alright, so quick update. We were working on doing the reverse mode on the Evo, but I was not a fan of it, mostly because the motherboard will be upside down, so my CPU will be like down here, right, and then my GPU will be up here. Not a fan. I think we're just going to stick to a normal build, okay? And then once we move to our new place, we could definitely focus on putting this on my right side. Now, one thing we want to do is the fishbowl effect on the Evo, where we're actually going to take this bracket off right here, so that way it's all glass everywhere. We cut it off right here, and then down here. That we could get a perfect line. It'll still have these brackets and these brackets to hold this glass, and then this bracket right here to hold this glass. So we got a nice clean cut. We smoothed it out. Bracket is officially off. So there you go. I do have to remove some of this right here, all the way down here. So we'll get to that later. For right now, let's build the PC. Now right here we have Asus ROG Strix Z790A gaming Wi-Fi. Like I said, we're going with an all-white build. So let's unbox this real quick. Now right here we do have our motherboard. There's a bunch of other components that come with it, but we're not going to use it. We mostly need our antenna, thermal pad for M.2, and I gotta say, this is one beautiful motherboard for sure. All right, the one I have in my current PC, I had to take off all of this to paint it, and this time I want to. So let's get started real quick. I took off the CPU from the old motherboard, I'm gonna install this one real quick. There you go. There you go. And we are good to go. Alright, next up we're going to install the M.2. We're going to install our M.2, and for that we got the Samsung 990 Pro, 2 terabytes, 7,450 megabytes of speed. Alright, with this one you don't really need to screw it in. Have a little notch right here, and you're good. And back to where it goes. There you go. Let's screw this in. Let's install some DDR. And we're going from our Trident Z Neo to Corsair's DDR5 Dominator Platinum. DDR4 right here, DDR5. Now, I did go with 124 gigabytes, mostly because I do run a program for my job that uses a lot of VRAM. So we definitely need that higher speeds. We got 64 gigabytes, 56 megahertz DDR5. Each stick is 32, and we got 4 of them. So let's install this real quick. Now this should last me a good amount of years, unless something crazy happens and DDR6 comes out. But if I recall, DDR4 came out in 2012, don't quote me on that, and it went for a nice 10 years. I will be upgrading my CPU and GPU on the next generation. I do want to get an i9 14900K and then the 5090 whenever they do come out. I feel like upgrading every year is probably not needed, so I'm more than likely doing it every 1 to 2 years. Alright, CPU is in, RAM is in, M.2 is in. Let's transfer this over to the case real quick. Alright, motherboard is in. I always like to start off with the one in the middle, but I can tell it's gonna be a bitch. Should have done it before I removed the heatsink. M.2 heatsink. Let's actually just take it off. There you go. Let's put this screw in. Alright, everything's in, so now we can start applying pressure. We'll start off at the corners, work our way on the opposite side, and then we start ones in the middle. Good. Perfect. Alright, next up we're going to do is the IOU. So let's get that baby installed. We do have to transfer it over from my old case. Alright, let's install the AIO. First things first, you're going to have to take off the bracket up here. That way you can line up your AIO real quick. Bam. Once you install it, you put up the bracket and you should be good. Computer together, tapping it, and then Series 2 is installing it in my game room. AIO's in. Let's install this real quick. Like a pump. I think that works right there. We're going. I just want to take a look. We're going to go with the tubes underground because that way I can just run this wire up through here. This over here takes the wire right at the heat sink. The tubes over here was pushing up against the VRAM, against the RAM. Sorry, I don't know why I keep calling it VRAM. against the ram, so I think that's going to be the best place right there. Now let's hold it down. So right here I have a 3090 Asus Tough Gaming. Originally it was black, but I painted it white. If you guys want to know how to do that, I did have a TikTok video that went up, and it pretty much showed you how to take it off, take it apart, paint it, and put it back together. Right now, let's line it up. Looks like I need to take off those two screws right there, numbers 2 and 3. Two and 3. Perfect. Feel nice and clean. Alright, let's install this. We're going regular mount. Now, this one, I don't think a vertical mount is good. Nice and tight. We'll add a support bracket here in the view. But it's coming along, you guys. It's been like 4 hours, and I feel like I have not done the progress, but I think the hard part's over. The easy part is just cable managing and the fans. So let's get that started. The next part is just fans, support bracket. Let me get ahead of that, and then I'll bring you back in when we'll install the VNV cables. Alright, you guys, so all fans are in. We got intake going through here, that way we could pull off the GPU. Intake coming in through here, exit, and exit right here. We'll handle the cable management here in the view, but before we do that, we're going to install the Lian Li streamers. Now these are the B2s, okay? I have the B1s, and I love them. I was just not a fan that I could not control them through the computer, that I had to open up my PC to get to the control module to change the colors. Lian Li changed that with their V2s, where you can now control everything through their software. Got the control module with the USB, white patch if you want to switch it out. Got the 24 pin right there. Perfect. And then the other one is our 8 pin for our GPU. Alright, let's install these real quick. One thing I definitely want to do is switching out for white versions, because like I said, the white GPU with the white stroke. We'll bring these out. This you cannot switch out, but you can switch out these up here. Question is, how the fuck do you do it? Alrighty, let's install these real quick. So what I like to do is just install them where they need to go, and then I'll cable manage that from there. So we got our 8 pin right here. Bam. There you go. I'm thinking of running these underneath this way. Leave this underneath the cables. So we'll run those right there. We got the 24 pin that goes right on the motherboard. Bam. Good connection. We will run this one through the side right here. I don't want the original 24 pin or the original 8 pin to show, so I make sure you don't really go down deep in there. All right, you guys. So, quick little update. It's finished,
but as I was editing the video, a lot of clips did not save. So here's a quick little update. The computer's working now, but we did run into a lot of issues. Number one, motherboard was bad. We found some bent pins because it was not starting up. Okay. Number two is power supply ended up going bad. Okay. I think I popped my old one and it was not turning on. It turned on, but then turned off right away. And it was just going back and forth. Number three, Amazon sent me some bad RAM. So I had to return those and send it back and get some new ones. But after a couple of visits to Micro Center and everything, we are good to go. We got all the fans going. Got Dominator and the Unli and the AIO going. And we removed the strips here so that way we got the fishbowl effect. You guys can see no bracket whatsoever. At the end, it turned out pretty good. One thing I also noticed about my video is my audio is terrible, so I do apologize for that. Slowly going to get better.